On February 13th, each grade level participated in a mandatory assembly during school hours, set on teaching students their Title IX rights. The student presenter at the assembly, Mia Most, has spent a lot of time learning what students' Title IX rights are.
So Title IX is a piece of federal civil rights legislation that was passed in 1972, meant to protect people in federally funded activities or institutions from receiving discrimination on the basis of their sex. Which has been expanded to also include gender and be inclusive of the LGBTQ+ community.
The Title IX presentation was the result of a lawsuit settlement between BVSD and two former Fairview students. The girls alleged administration neglected to act upon their reports regarding a former lacrosse player's sexual misconduct towards multiple students. In an interview with KYOT, Kimberly Hull, an attorney who represented the two former Fairview students, said, quote, "We learned that a lot of staff members didn't have that information, didn't know how to report various claims, or didn't feel like they had an effective way to report it." With the lawsuit officially settling, BVSD is now taking new measures in hopes it will improve their school's environment for students. Kimberly Holtz also said, quote, "BVSD agreed to provide training and information to high school students on consent, sexual assault, sexual harassment, and Title IX remedies at all high schools during school hours." The district has been working with the Student Advisory Board, who has been working alongside administration's Title IX advisor, Elizabeth Francis, on making better programs to help students advocate for themselves.
How are we going to get it in and institutionalize it so that it's not just one presentation that's done, but that it's something that we regularly do all the time and we're engaging with students on, so that it's something that everyone has access to, because that was what they identified was a problem. But the goal is to make sure that we're doing it long term.
A new support program called the Supportive Measures Menu is currently being finalized.
Supportive measures menu will go to all of our administrators so that when a student reports something to an administrator and the administrator says, "How can we support you at school? Do any of these feel good to you?" So that the student can review them, take it home and read it and look at it and process it, and then come back if they need to develop their support plan.
Both Mia Most and Elizabeth Francis agree that if students want to see changes made in their social environment, they must be the ones to take the necessary actions.
Report will make a difference. Your report will not be ignored. Your report will be heard and investigated, and you will receive support while that is occurring. And the district has to work towards a resolution that will change the behavior of the perpetrator. So yes, the district has had problems with this in the past, but we are actively working towards it, and we as students are driving that change. And I hope that having access to this information will allow students to take a stand for themselves and make this community a better place.
From KYOT, this is Elijah Wilson and Gail.